all around the world.
Welcome back, you beautiful brave hearts all around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And guess what? I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and this is the Wolfe Report. And I've been promising to bring out something that John D. Rockefeller wrote. And now it's the craziest thing. I've never seen this before. But now it'll go up on YouTube, and it's always been pulled down. Go up on YouTube, then get pulled down, go up on YouTube, get pulled down, and now when it's up on YouTube, it says he never wrote it. Well, guess what? I would never want anybody to know that I wrote this secret covenant, because that's what it's called. It's called the secret covenant. And whether you believe it or not, okay, it's like one family that rules the whole world, that went to different continents, that changed their last names, okay? And understand something. We've been hogtied for centuries. And the reality is planet Earth is a slave planet. But it's not to those that recognize that the only place you need to grow is consciously, super consciously, and stand in your power. And these people, these families, they fear one thing only: unconditional love for ourselves and everyone else. If we don't recognize this fact, and we don't because we're murdering each other, poisoning each other, you know, what would it take to pay you to attack me? What's your price? What's your price? What's the price? What's the price to come after another human being? To hurt them emotionally, physically, mentally, physically, and financially. What would be your price to do that? Mine? You couldn't pay me. You couldn't pay me to hurt another human being, because I know that there's only one creator that created the whole universe, and I know that we are all spirit beings from one family. And you can tell me that there's 45,000 different religions down here, and whether you want to believe it or not, these same families that I'm talking about, they're the ones that helped to create all these different religions and different rules for fools, so that they would have us arguing with each other. My religion's better than your religion. My color's better than your color. You know what? I'm over it. I'm so over it. And I'm over all the judgment. I'm over all the guilt. You couldn't guilt me. You couldn't judge me. You can like me. You can hate me. You can love me, and it doesn't matter. I know that if I love you anyway, it doesn't mean that I'm going to come into your presence, because that would get me out of the present moment. I'm going to make sure that I protect my vibration, which means that I am going to make sure that I'm around people that even speak more consciously than I do, because I need to be challenged to grow, because we can only grow spiritually. And understand something, you feed the spirit, you heal the body. But let's get right to it, will we? And welcome to the Wolfe Report. I'm going to read to you, and then I'll take some breaks through this. But I'm going to read to you what John D. Rockefeller wrote, okay? And understand, nothing can remain a secret forever. And the reality is this. You know, people say to me, they're going to jail. This person's going to jail. You know, this person has committed genocide or treason. They're all going to get theirs. Well, actually, they're not. And if you want to get yours, you better mind your own business and not need approval from anyone. And you better learn that it's unconditional love for yourself and unconditional care for yourself, because there is no health care. There's self-care. And as far as love goes, it's just an ingredient. It's what you do with it. And you need to blend it into your life continually and fill up your own heart every day. Wear a slight smile, shoulders back. And you need to stand in your power. And if you love your partner, your children, or anybody else more than yourself, then understand you have just opted into a slave planet. And some of you are going to go, what a selfish person this Darrell Wolfe is. Is that what he teaches? Understand, a person with unconditional love and care will never hurt anything, because we give what we are. We don't give what we're not. And understand something. How easy is it to join a war against yourself, your neighbors, okay? Somebody in another country you never met. How is it to spill someone's blood? Okay? How is it to down another person's religion because you think yours is better, or that your political group is better? Really, seriously? On the big scheme of things in the universe, we are low vibrational beings. I hope you know that. And you know what? We need to earn the right to move on to the next level. And that's where it really is. This is one big PlayStation game. And if you're not willing to take that kitty litter and make it into a beautiful sandbox and understand imagination is the art of creation. And we were created to create. So don't give me stories about dumbing God down. That it's some kind of judgmental, dysfunctional, emotional human being, because that's not even what it is. But you go ahead, you buy into those things and buy into all these other things, because at least this family, whether you like the Rockefellers or you like the Rothschilds or you like all of these other psychos, okay? The reality is this. At least they come together even if they don't like each other and strategize. We can't even strategize a perfect day from the moment we rise until we close our eyes. And we allow them to do all the strategizing for us. And we allow them to humiliate us. And no, we are a slave planet, but I am not a slave. There is no authority over me, and I will humble myself down in front of nothing except that great vibration that I call source energy that created the whole universe. So let's talk about the secret covenant that John D. Rockefeller actually wrote. An illusion it will be, so large, so vast, it will escape their perception. That would be me and you, because they're saying we're pretty dumb, right? Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. Oh, listen, people think I'm insane. Please don't scroll that fast. People think I'm insane. They think, you know what, if you don't follow the majority, then you're attacked. Yes or no? Yes or no? And you think the majority rules the world? Well, the majority are being ruled. And they've always been ruled. And anything the majority does, I will never do. And I love the majority, I love the minority, I love everyone, and I swear. But I know that it's up to me, and I'm going to take responsibility for my life. We will create, here we go, we will create fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. Did you get that? They changed their names. They changed their names. They're all the same family. You don't get it yet. You can't connect the dots. For centuries, they've been doing this and plotting this. We will behave as if we are not connected to keep the illusion alive. Our goals will be accomplished one drop at a time, so as never to bring suspicion upon ourselves. Oh, you sneaky little devils, you. This will also prevent them, that's us, this will also prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. Let me tell you something. Why don't you go back and take a look at a picture, 1970 on the beach, and then go look at one in 1930. 1930, you'll find nobody overweight. 1970, you'll find 1 out of every 100. Now, 2024, go to the beach and you'll find 1 out of every 100 people that isn't overweight or obese. And guess what? Your normal's abnormal. If I'm not going to ask you if you have a good bowel movement, I'm not going to ask you if you eat well, because you're going to compare yourself to all the other people that live in hell and think that it's as good as it gets. We will always stand above the relative field of their experience. For we know the secrets of the absolute, and the secrets of the absolute is that, guess what? Everything is taught by repetition and programming. I repeat things to myself 10,000 times, not because I'm a moron, because that's how the subconscious learns. And once I've repeated something 10,000 times, even if my subconscious doesn't believe it for the first 5,000 times, it's going to. And that is, I love you, Daryl. I will care for you, Daryl. I will honor you, Daryl. I will respect you, Daryl. before anyone else or anything else. So help me God. Because if I don't, I will not respect my mother, my father, my wife, my brother, my sister, and this world. I will not. And I must. We are vibrational, electromagnetic beings. Electronic, yes, because we run on electricity. And that electricity is our positive frequencies that are created by us mastering our emotions and not reacting and attacking ourselves and the rest of the world. Are you ready? Here we go. We will work together always, and we will remain bound by blood. Of course, there would be blood and secrecy. Death will come to he who speaks. If you go out there and you go out and share the agenda with the sheeple, that would be me, okay? You're going down. Because we need to protect this covenant, okay? Because think about it. One family that changed their last names, that went throughout the world, that believe that they are the gods of this planet and that they were handpicked. We are the ants, and they go, why are we ants? Because we allow negative thoughts. That's what that stands for, ants. And they will crush us anytime they want. And then when you think that somebody's going to go to court or jail because they're in politics or they're in some kind of authoritative position, they're not going to, but they will sacrifice a lamb every once in a while so that the majority, the herd, go, yippee, we won. Well, you're not going to win until you know one love, one law, unconditional love and care for yourself. So just know that. All the great people that came to this planet that were spiritual leaders tried to teach the same thing. They taught it differently, but it was one thing, one law, one love, unconditional love for ourselves and everything else. Here we go. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. Oh, don't you just love it? Okay. Another medical breakthrough, which causes us a breakdown. Okay. Oh, there's just not enough money, okay, for the poor on the streets or for the single mother, but there's lots of money for all the other countries, for all the other wars that we're fighting. Guess what? I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to explain. And I'm not going to participate. The only thing that matters is me and my perfect day every day. I'm not going to suffer for the planet, and I'm not going to suffer for all the people that believe suffering is the way to the Lord, or suffering is the way that we learn. Isn't it funny? People go, wow, I suffered a lot, but boy, my cancer has really taught me something. Well, what about learning before you have cancer? What about not suffering? Because when you're suffering while you're learning, so is everybody else who loves you. What about not suffering anymore? What about just unconditional love? And just, if we had unconditional love and care for ourselves, we wouldn't have to suffer. And understand something, your brain is 90% subconscious, and guess what? It's only a computer. And the prominent dominant programs in there run it, and you didn't put them in there. And if you don't believe me, then just do some research on psychology from 0 to 7, because 70 to 90% of all of your programs in there were created during that age, and guess what? 70 to 90% of them are toxic, but you believe it's as good as it gets. And I'm not saying you, or you. I'm saying the majority does believe it's as good as it gets. I will have nothing to do with this broken world because this world isn't broken. It's where your perception goes. And remember something, everything that you think and everything that you speak has created what you have today. And I know that. And I go, wow, Daryl, you are an amazing creator. Game on. Let's get back to it. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so that they will never see what is happening. Well, some of us are waking up. But you know what? I'm only calling out to the lions. I'm not calling out to the masses, because the masses aren't going to wake up. But the lions will. I hear your roar, Daryl. We will use soft metals. That would be your silver fillings that are 47% mercury. Okay, thank you. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators. That would be the fluorine, chloride. That would be all the chemicals they use. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in the food and water, also in the air. They will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. Okay, You need to go back and find out when he wrote this. They already knew they were going to do the chemtrail thing. It was already planned. They planned 50 to 100 years in advance because they're the royals. They're the gods of this planet. Hey, listen, there's a lot of times that I thought that I was something and I wasn't, but I believed it. I was delusional, okay? But guess what? Carry it on for centuries, and guess what? It's right in their DNA, all right? The soft metals will cause them to lose their minds. Really? Well, of course. How much mercury can you absorb? We know that the EPA tells us that out in the environment that you could never have the concentration of mercury that you put into a person's mouth. How do they get away with that? Because they control everything. Oh my God, our government's broken. No, it isn't. They are the government behind the government that rules the government. Oh my God, the medical system is broken. No, it's not. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do, was to pretend that it was really in there to help you, but poison you. We will promise to find a cure. Oh, I know you will. We will promise to find a cure from our fronts. Yet we will feed them more poison. The poisons will be absorbed through their skin and mouths. They will destroy their minds and reproductive systems. Oh, wait a minute. Is my phone in my pocket so that it can just destroy all the swimmers? Okay. Do I have to drink alcohol to have fun with myself or with my family? Do I need to vape to calm myself down or smoke cigarettes? Do I have to overeat to suppress my emotions? From all this, their children will be born dead, and we will conceal this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them, in what they drink, eat, breathe, and wear. We must be ingenious in dispensing the poisons, for they can see far. We will teach them that the poisons are good, with fun images and musical tones. Yippee! Those they look up to will help. We will enlist them to push our poisons. Did you get that? Those they look up to will help, because guess what I asked you in the beginning of this? I said, how much would it take for me to pay you off, to hurt someone, to poison someone, to lie to someone? How much would it cost? Let me tell you something. I am going to live on this planet, and I'm going to stand in my power. I was created by God Almighty, and I'm going to act like it. And I am not upset. I understand the game. It's not going to change. But understand this. You understand the rules from these fools, because they will sell your family off one piece at a time, and they don't have any inkling to do anything else. So those that they look up to, we will enlist them to push our poisons. They will see our products used in film and grow accustomed to them. And they will never know their true side effects. Really? I think we're getting onto it a little bit. When they give birth, we will inject poisons into the blood of their children and convince them it is for their own good. We will start early on when their minds are young. We will target their children with what children love the most. Sweet things. When their teeth decay, we will fill them with metals that will kill their mind and steal their future. When their ability to learn has been affected, we will create medicine that will make them sicker and create other diseases, for which we will create yet more medicine. We will render them docile and weak before us with our power. Ooh, yeah. You know what? I've got the power of love. And you're going to find out if you follow me. That's it. Nothing else. Not the love of power. And if you have the love of power, just know you're not just going to hurt yourself. You will hurt others. They will grow more depressed. And there is no such thing as depression. There's only such thing as anxiety and fear, which causes the computer called your brain to shut down. And then when you go into depression, you will get depression meds, and the only side effect from a depression med is, doctor, I feel suicidal. And understand something, just a year ago they finished a huge study, Big Pharma. and it came out that all depression meds, okay, create suicidal tendencies. And now doctors have to call within 1 week after prescribing these drugs and ask, "How you doing, Jim?" "Oh, pretty good, doctor." "You don't have any suicidal tendencies, do you?" Well, what do you think he's going to say? Yes? Because if he does, there's a straitjacket for him. Anyways, that's what we call prevention in this world. We will render them docile and weak before us with our power. They will grow more depressed, slow, and obese. This was written a long time ago, everyone, and when they come to us for help, we will give them more poison. We will focus their attention on money and material goods so that they may never connect with their inner self. We will distract them with fornication, external pleasures and games, so they may never be one with the oneness of it all. Isn't that the truth, eh? If we could just calm down, if we could just understand that this is an inner standing, not an outer standing, if we could just understand that it's about having total love and respect and honor for ourselves, or we will not have that for our brothers and sisters, whether they live in our home or they live on the planet. Their minds will belong to us, and they will do what we say. If they refuse, we shall find ways to implement mind-altering technology in their lives. We will use fear as our weapon. We will establish their governments and establish opposites within. Red or blue, doesn't matter, you're getting the screw. We will own both sides. We will always hide our objective, but carry out our plan. They will perform the labor for us, and we shall prosper from their toil. Our families must never mix with theirs. Our blood must be pure, always, for it is the way. We will make them kill each other when it suits us. Wow, what's happening in the world right now, everyone? We will keep them separated from the oneness by dogma and religion. I only have one religion. It's called unconditional love. I only have one church, and that's called nature. And I'm telling you right now, and if I don't live like this, then I will judge my brothers and sisters. I do not ever want to be in that position. I want everyone to have the beliefs they have. I want them to believe in whatever they have, and I will love them anyway. And you need to understand, if we don't head towards this, then we will be in trouble. We will keep them separated from the oneness by dogma and religion. We will control all aspects of their lives and tell them what to think and how. We will guide them kindly and gently, letting them think they are guiding themselves. Really? It's kind of obvious who's guiding us. First of all, I apologized to my kids until I pulled them out of school. I apologized to send them to the government for their training. Thank you very much. And that's called public school. We will foment animosity among them through our factions. When a light shall shine amongst them, we shall extinguish it by ridicule or death, whichever suits us best, because that's who we are. We will make them rip each other's hearts apart and kill their own children. Let me tell you something right now. What is the main killer on this planet as far as autoimmune diseases is heart disease. And understand this, you would never have heart disease even if you didn't eat well, if you didn't have a broken heart, if you didn't have an empty heart, if my heart didn't ache. Okay, she broke my heart, he broke my heart. Isn't it great how you make everybody responsible for loving you? You should be loving yourself. And when you love yourself and you shine that light on others, everyone you will be the greatest teacher that this planet has ever seen. And all you had to do was love yourself unconditionally. If I make a mistake, I don't care how big the mistake is. It's not a mistake. I'm learning. I need to repeat things before I'm a master. If I make a mistake with someone, even if I didn't mean to hurt them, I will apologize, but never say sorry. Sorry for me is a 4-letter word. I will never say it. I will never bring my vibration down. I'll say, I apologize for hurting you, and I don't even know how. Can we sit down together and you can explain so that we can have a better relationship? Because guess what? Everybody's different. Everybody has different beliefs. You know, you can do something with one person and they'll laugh. The other person will never want to talk to you again. And I don't want that. But the reality is that I will not vibrate down at sorry. That will not happen. You'll never hear that come out of my mouth. Because guess what? After COVID, everybody's saying after COVID now, what are they saying? I'm so sorry. It used to be I'm sorry. Now it's I'm so sorry. Okay. I think we're going down the wrong path here. I think everyone needs to start finding their inner power. Everyone needs to become sovereign onto themselves and their creator. We will accomplish this by using hate as our ally and anger as our friend. The hate will blind them today, and never will they see that from their conflict, we emerge as their rulers. They will be busy killing each other. They will bathe in their own blood and kill their neighbors for as long as we see fit. We will benefit greatly from this, for they will not see us, for they cannot see us. We will continue to prosper from their wars and their deaths. We shall repeat this over and over until our ultimate goal is accomplished. We will continue to make them live in fear and anger through images and sounds. We will use all the tools we have to accomplish this. The tools will be provided by their labor. That's right. Isn't it great how our brothers and sisters will become our own jailers? They will become our enforcers. We will make them hate themselves and their neighbors. We will always hide the divine truth from them, that we are all one. They must never know this, that we are all one. They must never know that a man's color is an illusion. They must always think they are not equal. Drop by drop, drop by drop, we shall advance our goal. We will take over their land, resources, and wealth to exercise total control over them. We will deceive them into accepting laws that will steal the little freedom that they have. We will establish a money system that will imprison them forever, keeping them and their children in debt. When they shall band together, we shall accuse them of crimes and present a different story to the world. For we shall own all the media. We will use our media to control the flow of information and their sentiment in our favor. When they shall rise up against us, we shall crush them like insects, for they are less than that. They will be helpless to do anything, for they will have no weapons. We will recruit some of them to help us carry out our plans. We will promise them eternal life, but eternal life they will never have, for they are none of us. The recruits will be called initiates, and we will indoctrinate to them to believe false rites of passage to higher realms. Members of these groups will think they are one with us, never knowing the truth. They must never learn this truth, for they will turn against us. For their work, they will be rewarded with earthly things and great titles. Isn't that something? Here's your trophy, okay? Here's your watch, okay? Here's your new title. Seriously? I've got one title: unconditional love, unconditional care for myself and everybody else on this planet. For their work, they will be rewarded with earthly things and great titles, but never will they become immortal and join us. Well, that's not true, is it? Never will they receive the light and the travel to the stars. They will never reach the higher realms, for the killing of their own kind will prevent passage. Did you get that? Now there's truth right there. There's truth. They don't do the killing. We do it for them. They don't do the killing, we do it for them. Everything is choice. Everything is choice. I am immortal. I am a light energy, electrical, magnetic being. I was created by God, and I will act like it. I will never hurt another brother and sister. I will defend my family without hurting others. That is the deal. If you stop being at war with yourself or anyone else, there would be no war. They will never reach the higher realms, for the killing of their own kind will prevent passage to the realm of enlightenment. And guess what? That part I believe. This they will never know. The truth will be hidden in their face so closely they will be unable to focus on it until it is too late. Oh yes, so grand will the illusion of freedom be that they will never know they are our slaves. When all is in place, the reality we have created for them will be their prison. They will live in self-delusion. Remember something, everyone. We create our own prison. How many of you actually follow some kind of belief system that's based on judgment? Because with judgment, there must be a jail term. Judgment will never ever be in my life. It doesn't matter what someone does to me. I will not judge them. But I will not go back to them. I will wish them the best. But I will only be with those people who seek higher vibration, who seek a brighter light in life. But I will do my best, and this is my passion and my purpose, is to wrap my arms around the world. Because everyone comes here as a beautiful spirit. And depending on who your keepers are and the programming you got will decide your life. So I'm telling you right now, this is not a pitch. If you decide that you don't want to change your program, you better buckle up. Here comes a bumpy ride. You know, I teach what's called a whole life coach certification. By the third day, if it hasn't changed your life for the rest of your life, I'll give you your money back. The reality is, we're not into pain management, thank you. I don't want to manage pain. We need to master it. How do you master pain? By mastering your emotions. Do you ever see how these people, the higher you go, everybody knows they're lying, but because they stay calm and they have a slight smile and they're connected to their breath, and then you lose it because you know they're lying, guess what? They just won. They lie every day. They lie every moment. But because we have never been taught the most important thing, which is what? Mastering our emotions. I hope you know that there was a major study just done, and it is said that 80% of the population is going to actually lose it over the next 3 to 4 years because they aren't emotionally prepared. Think about how your life was before COVID. That whole COVID thing. Was it really that great? No. You were reacting and attacking yourself and others. And I'm not saying everybody who's listening to this today. The reality is, if you don't want to find peace within yourself, if you don't want to have faith in the invisible, that which created the universe, and have a different viewpoint about that which created the universe, that it's only had unconditional love for you and it's never judged you. Seriously? How can we fall for taking the greatest thing in the universe and dumbing it down to some dysfunctional, abusive man? That was their plan. But you go ahead and you believe in whatever you need to believe in, and I will love you anyway. Isn't that the deal? I'm not here to change people. The world never needed changing. Just know this, that if you were to change by 1% each day, you'd have a new you in 100 days. And what would be so bad about unconditionally loving and caring for yourself? Do you think that maybe your children would know how to do it better? Do you think that might lead people that are totally astray, that are drug addicts, alcoholics, physical and emotional abusers, might see the light coming off of you? That little essence? The day that I understood that a person is not their beliefs, it's just their programming, was the day that I was able to say, I will love everyone. Because whether you like it or not, 45,000 prominent religions and then another 100,000 smaller ones, we all came from the same place. We're going back to the same place. So you know what, is it okay if I just make up my own glory story and just have a really beautiful day every day and turn my kitty litter into a sandbox? Is that okay? But understand something, just what I said now just pissed a whole bunch of people off. They even jumped off the platform, or they probably left me some nice message. But it won't matter, because we will love them anyway. When our goal is accomplished, a new era of domination will begin. Their minds will be bound by their beliefs. The beliefs that we have established from time after time. But if they ever find out they are our equals, we shall perish with them. Did you get that? So let me just say this. Isn't it amazing how about 250,000 people could hogtie 8 billion people for 3 years, and now we're just going to get, that was the hors d'oeuvre. Wait till you see what's coming. This they must never know. If they ever find out that together they can vanquish us, they will take action. They must never ever find out what we have done. For if they do, we shall have no place to run, for it will be easy to see who we are once the veil has fallen. Our actions shall have revealed who we are, and they will hunt us down, and no person shall give us shelter. I won't give them shelter, but I also will not come after them. Isn't it kind of funny? The day that I realized the things I don't want in my life, if I were to actually not focus on them, they wouldn't be there. The things that I love and honor and respect, if I only focus on that, I happen to have that. It doesn't make my life perfect, because I still have to deal with the people that are jealous and say, I want what he has, but I don't want to work for it. And the reality is that everybody could have what they wanted if they just found their passion and their purpose, but their passion and their purpose was stolen from them. So please don't be upset with your neighbor, your family, when they have emotions that come up against you, because they're not their beliefs. You're not your beliefs until you are unconditional love and care for yourself. This is the secret covenant by which we shall live the rest of our present and future lives. For this reality shall transcend many generations and lifespans. The covenant is sealed by blood, our blood. We are the ones who from the heaven to earth came. The covenant must never, ever be known to exist. It must never, ever be written or spoken of. Well, here it is. For if it is, the consciousness will spawn. It will release the fury of the prime creator upon us. The prime creator. I love that guy. You know who that guy is? And we shall be cast into the depths, from whence we came, and remain there until the end of infinity itself. And that is history. His story. History. His story. Not my story. I am not participating in this story. I'm awake to the fact. Okay, so far today, I've drank 2 quarts of structured water with Ormus Minerals, okay? And I'm gonna go and have another quart here, and guess what? I had to go do some banking, some other things, and you know what? The reality is there was bumps along the way. There was things that could frustrate me. No, if you can't stay in the present moment and own it, then you're owned by everybody else and everything else, and you are a slave. And you will remain that. If you can't connect to your lion heart breath 6 seconds in, 7 seconds out, put a slight smile on your face, your shoulders back, and no matter what goes on in the world, you mind your own business. And when someone wants your help, and they truly want your help, we want to be there for them. But don't go out there trying to change people. If you spend all your time and energy going and having an understanding that which we call God is beyond unconditional love. It was never something that judged us. What a made-up story. You know, nobody gets this. It doesn't matter how old the book is. As far as I'm concerned, oldie moldy. It's not a Goldie. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to write my own story. And then everybody out there that has belief systems and says, he'll get his, okay, whatever. And I am getting mine because I stay in the present moment and own it. Okay, and as I said, I only have one religion, and that's unconditional love. I only have one church, and that's called the nature of things. And understand something, common sense is all you need. And know this, if you were able to get rid of the chokeholds that you have, the belief systems that are so deep in your subconscious, but who's going to do that for you? You need a can opener. Because understand something, when you become a mental gymnast and you can do backflips, you own your life. When you understand that the subconscious, which is 90% of your brain, okay, it doesn't create new things, it only runs prominent, dominant things, and guess what? The majority of the population, 70 to 90% of their beliefs, 70% to 90% of their beliefs are actually killing them. And if you think I'm kidding, then how could 86 to 92%, depending where you go around the world, people have an autoimmune disease? Why is it that they're saying right now, with all the research and studies, that a 12-year-old will not outlive their parents? Because it's true. I'm asking for you to change. I'm asking for you to love and care for yourself. Let yourself off the hook no matter what you've ever done. Apologize where you need to, but understand something. If apology is not given, don't go back again to that person. Find people that you never have to apologize to, that will sit down with you and observe, not judge, that will help you learn to love and care for yourself. As long as we judge each other, they win. 3, 2, 1. We're stronger when we come together. Have a beautiful day.